What's going on, everyone? It's Plat, back bringing you guys another video. Today is more so a level 80 exclusive video, or maybe you're about to be level 80 and want to learn more about VA troops. Regardless your reasoning, this video I'm going to cover Valhalla troops and what you need to know about them. Before we begin, many players have different opinions when it comes to these troops. I'm giving you my opinion based on my game experience and what I've seen, along with their statistics and attributes. Once you've reached level 80 in the game, you will unlock a new building, the Super Weapon Lab. Inside the Super Weapon Lab, you will find Valhalla troops. To train these troops, you will need 3 things after you reach level 80. 5.2 FF Gold, 11k Army, Navy, Air Force, depending on what your main troop is, those merge plans, and 100k Odinium. Once you get all 3 of these things, you'll be able to invest in one of the 9 VA troops the game has released. So which one should you invest in? Let's break it down troop by troop for you, shall we? So first, we'll start with the Army VA and work our way down the line, the first one being the S-100. This unit attacks a row of targets. When defending a building, damage increases by 30%, and damage taken from naval units is reduced by 25%. Overall, this is a pretty solid VA unit depending on what you plan to use your VA troops for. This troop is more so made for capital defense, maybe an SVS, with the whole defending a building damage increase thing. However, it is still very useful on attack, seeing as it attacks a row of targets instead of just one target like Army normally does. The 25% Navy reduction is also a bonus when you consider suppressions. The second troop is the Y1, as I'm going to call it. This unit attack increases by 60%. When attacking a building, damage increases by 30%, and your crit rate increases by 150%. Overall, this is probably the best VA troop when it comes to Army. 60% attack increase is equal to a level 6 rare attack Army skill. When attacking capital or ruins, you get a 30% damage increase, which is pretty nuts, along with a 150% crit rate increase, which is equal to 3 level 10 crit buff components. This unit is pretty insane and ranks top among my Army VA troop list. The last one being the Shrek SH4I. This troop attacks 2 targets randomly. The load increases by 300%, while the marching speed is reduced by 50%, and reduces damage taken while gathering by 30%. This is easily the worst VA unit of the 3 Army units, and probably of all of the VA troops together. Unless your server is in the midst of a tile hit war, I can't really find a good reason to invest in this VA troop. This troop was made for farming, to say the least, as you can see by its attributes. I don't really recommend investing in it, and for that reason, we're just going to move right past it. Up next, we're moving into the Navy section of VA troops, starting with the Jormungandr J-15. First of all, your attack is going to be increased by 60% with this troop. It's also going to increase attack against Army by 200%, and your dodge rate will be increased by 100%. Overall, this is a really solid VA unit to invest in, debatably the best in the class. It increases your Navy attack by 60%, which again is equal to a level 6 rare Navy attack skill. It then goes on to increase the suppression against Army by 200%, which is an enormous boost against Army. To top it all off, you get a 100% dodge rate increase, which is essentially 2 level 10 dodge rate components on your troop. Depending on how many Army mains are in your server, this could be a good one for you to invest in. Up next, we got the Kraken K3. First, when defending, it's going to generate a shield equal to 20% of the HP at the beginning of the battle. You're going to get a 60% HP increase, and your crit rate is going to be increased by 150%. Overall, although some of these attributes look tempting, this is the worst VA boat to invest in if you're an attacking player. Defense in this game is not mechanically set up well to begin with, so investing in a unit that helps with defense is almost pointless in my eyes. Although the 60% HP buff is very nice, along with the 150% crit rate buff, this boat is just not as good as the other 2 in the category, which is going to bring us to the Fenrir F4X. This troop attacks 3 times randomly. Marching speed is reduced 30% while damage increased by 30%, and when attacking 3 different targets in an attack, the final damage will be increased by 38%. As you guys can see, this is the one I decided to invest in. This Va troop is a hit or miss to me. The 3 random attacks can sometimes work in your favor or work against you. It's kind of a gamble. Reducing march speed by 30% is nothing when you compare it to increasing damage by 30%. The last attribute of this boat I have not come into contact with yet. I presume it is made for tactical masters who research far enough to get the boost when using different types of troops in the same march is valuable. I invested in this boat because I felt it's the best Navy choice, but the Jormungandr is a close second. The last troop to discuss is the Air Force units, starting with the Arvok A-160. First, it's going to attack 4 targets randomly. Then, it's going to increase attack against Navy by 200%, and your crit rate is going to increase by 150%. This is a pretty good overall unit to invest in. Normally, Air Force attacks 3 times in a straight line backwards. With its first ability, you get an extra shot along with randomization. You increase your suppression by 200% against the Navy, and you get 150% crit rate increase or 3 level 10 crit buff components. Nobody's going to blame you if you invest in this airplane. If you have a lot of Navy mains in your server, this is probably what that plane is really made for. Up next, we're going to be moving on to the Graham G47. So when attacking a building, your damage is going to increase by 30%. Also, your attack is going to be increased by 60%, and your dodge rate is going to be increased by 100%. This is the least common playing amongst the 3 choices, and I cannot seem to figure out why that may be. You get a 30% damage increase when attacking a building, such as Capitol or Ruins. You also get a 60% attack bonus, which, as we've covered, is a level 6 rare Air Force attack skill, along with a 100% dodge rate increase, which is 2 level 10 dodge rate components. I don't see many of these planes in Warzone SVS, however, I still think this would be a good choice for an Air Force unit. Lastly, we have, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name, so I'm just going to call it the G10. First of all, it's going to attack all enemy targets. It's going to increase damage by 20% when attacking and reduce your hit rate by 10%. And lastly, it's going to increase the final damage dealt by 25%. Overall, this is the most popular playing amongst the 3 that I see. The first of its attributes is attack all enemy targets. You'd think that's a great thing when you hear it, but not exactly. When you attack all units, you spread out your damage throughout all of the stacks instead of directly hitting a few select with a lot more power. Depending on your setup, this Va troop could limit you. Increasing damage by 20% is nice on attack. You don't have to worry about the 10% hit rate reduction if you have your Power of Science Hero Bond to the 5th tier. The final damage increase by 25% is made to compensate for the spread out damage, as I mentioned earlier, but it won't be as effective as it really sounds. There truly is not a bad Air Force archetype for Va troops, and all of them can be debated as the best in their classes. There is one last thing I wanted to cover. Once you have invested in your first Va troop, you'll notice you can transfer level 80, 81, or 82 troops into Va units. The only difference that you are going to want to know when it comes to which troop you should transfer is the cost of Odinium and oil. The lower the level of troop, the higher the cost of production. The higher the level of the troop, the cheaper the cost of production. I get a lot of people that ask me, if I transfer a level 80 troop, will it still be a level 82 Va troop? Yes. All troops that you transfer to Va units, no matter what level the troop was before changing it to Va, it will always be level 82 with the exact same stats. My name's Plat. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave me a thumbs up. If you disagree with some of the things I said, start a discussion in the comments below. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.